Welcome back, Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, classic slash non-classic. This is episode number 355 and Doubleshot number 282. Okay, got two Daredevil volumes. I got Daredevil Back in Black volumes 2 and 3. First up, we're going to talk about volume 2, Supersonic, containing issues. And this is a volume 5, by the way. These are the issues. These are 572 to 575. Those are the issues that are in here. And annual number, let's see, I think this is annual 13. Yep. First is a two-parter where Daredevil teams up with Elektra for a quick little two-parter. Where apparently she has a daughter and then later figure out that she has really no daughter. Someone messing with her head. As far as I know, this storyline was never properly resolved. It's just a two-part filler storyline, but it's nice to see Elektra and one of her very few appearances that she's made in between Secret Wars and the start of our current ongoing series. Excuse me, which is 2 issues in. She also made an appearance in a this is more dignified appearance than her quick little cameo from the Pentulum issue of Illuminati. And there was also, she appeared in the last few issues of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then she got her own ongoing series. So she appeared in 3 different books. This one, Illuminati, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Then she got her own ongoing series. So very few appearances. Great story. Great cover by Bill Sienkiewicz. Yep. Then we have a two-parter with Daredevil and Spider-Man Manageport to rob something. It's a fun little two-parter. And Daredevil and Matt Murdock's on the cover. I think he's working for S.H.I.E.L.D. He says he does this occasionally, but it's nice to back out something like this. And the annual is simply put, there's 2 stories in it. The first story is the return of Echo, Maria Lopez. She got killed off during Bendis' run for Moon Knight. As for her resurrection, it's not been explained yet. My guess is it involves the whole thing with Daredevil's identity returning to be secret again. That's my personal guess. I don't know. It's a nice little story. It's nice to see her back. After this is apparently she came back. It's not been explained yet of how she was able to get resurrected, even though she was killed by Count Nefardia. Yeah, a C-list Avengers villain kills her off in Bendis' run for Moon Knight. And then she returns in here for some reason. The second story is basically Daredevil versus Gladiator. For the first time in many years, I would say first time in almost 10 years, that these two have actually seen each other in combat. I haven't seen this guy in a while. Probably, I don't think he's made a physical appearance in a Daredevil comic, not since, my personal guess, probably not since the Bendis run of Daredevil. But this is great, the fact that Scholl did this after he did an opening 5-parter. To have 2 quick parters, and of course you have the annual, which Scholl does do the annual. Now Sienkiewicz just does the covers for issues 6 and 7. The artwork, the covers for 8 and 9 is done by Gillespie Kamushi and Daniele Orlani. And the cover is Vanessa R. Del Rey. Yeah, and she also is the interior artist for that issue. The interior artist for issues 6 and 7, those are issues 572 and 573. That's Matto Buffagan. 8 and 9, aka 574, 575, is Goran Suguska. The Fragment story, which I believe is the Gladiator story, that's written by Roger McKenzie. And artwork is by Ben Torres. I believe this is Fragment, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Let me see here. Let's see. Yeah. Yep. Roger McKenzie does. He does a Gladiator story. I should point out Roger McKenzie has written Daredevil in the past. He actually was one of the previous writers before Frank Miller briefly took over back in the 80s. So it's nice to see him write Daredevil again. And he is a great writer. He writes great Daredevil stories, and this feels like the stuff that we got from the run before Mark Waid took over. Now, some people don't like this stuff, but I personally enjoy it because I'm a huge Daredevil fan. I'm going to give this book a 9 out of 10. Stories in here are pretty amazing. It's nice Scholl does this where he has a couple quick two-parters after having a big arc. And it's nice to have a few fun stories before you start up the next arc, which is this one. Volume 3, Dark Art, containing issues 576 to 580. Yep, 576 to 580. Simply put, it's Daredevil fighting an artist, fighting a murderer who uses people's blood for paintings. Yeah, and this is by far the most glorious story I have ever seen written in a Daredevil comic book. And it's Teen Plus. I'm surprised with the amount of stuff you see in this book. I'm not going to show stuff later on in the comic book. Now, the artwork in here is done by two artists. Basically, it's done by Ron Gurney. He does the artwork for all the issues. Matt Milla is the artist for the covers. He also does the cover. He also does the cover art for this. Matt Milla is the colorist. But yeah, so Ron Garley is the guy who does the cover, and he does the interior artwork. This is a pretty decent story for what it is. And of course, this kind of does help lay some groundwork for a two-part follow-up to this one, which this is the most recent trade release for this volume of Daredevil. My guess is next volume probably would have that two-part that came right after this, then the current story arc involving the Purple Man. Yep. But also in this story arc, Blind Spot gets a little bit more to do. He's actually seen a lot more. He's seen throughout this entire story arc, and he was kind of like he kind of got like he was seen briefly at the start of the Elektra arc, and then he disappeared for a while. Now he's back in here full swing. This is only the second major story arc of Scholl's run. Those two were two quick filler arcs, which they were just there just to be fun before he got more into dark stuff. But this does lay the groundwork for the question that people have been answering for over a year of how did Daredevil's identity become a secret again. That is actually set up for two arcs after this one. Next one after this one is a two-parter, and then of course you have the current arc involving Purple Man. This is still pretty decent for what it is. Also, Blind Spot loses his eyes. Yep. And the two-parter that comes right after this is basically Daredevil raising money. Basically, Matt Murdock putting a bounty on Daredevil's head just to help pay for his eye transplant. Yep. But this is still, it's nice. Because of the gory stuff in here, I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10. It's a bit of a downgrade what I gave it the previous one, but the only reason why it's not much lower is because it gets better after this. Even though this is kind of a low point for Daredevil in this run, but it does get better. This is only a quick little 5-parter, and then you have a 2-parter, then you have the current one, which you gotta appreciate Scholl for doing this. Okay, so that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, which is episode 356 and Doubleshot number 283. Okay, so then I will see you there. Bye.